Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQ&AV, and as always, NoDQ.com, your source for the very latest in WWE and TNA. We have TNA Lockdown coming up next weekend. You can check out the coverage at NoDQ.com. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions. The first one today comes from Hawkeye24. Hola Aaron, what are your thoughts of Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy for the title at Lockdown? And who do you think should win? I also got another question here. Do you think Bully Ray will turn heel and join Aces and Eights at Lockdown? Let's put it this way. I don't see there being a clean finish. Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy, going into that match, they're two baby faces, and I just don't see there being a clean match with a clean finish and then the two of them just embracing each other. Knowing how the wrestling business works and how TNA works, I suspect that we will have some sort of shenanigans, and there's a lot of talk about Bully Ray turning heel and joining Aces and Eights, being revealed as the guy who was behind it all along. Now, doesn't really make sense when you look at the history with Bully Ray feuding with them and having all these matches back and forth with Aces and Eights. But on the other hand, going forward past Lockdown, the most interesting storylines would be if you have Bully Ray turn heel. And, you could play up the whole fact that he married Brooke Hogan as a setup, and that was part of the plan to take over TNA. And you can continue the feud between Bully Ray and Hulk Hogan. And it kind of scares me to think that maybe Bully Ray could win the title at Lockdown, and then Hulk Hogan would end up fighting Bully Ray for the title at Bound for Glory. That is scary to think about, but I would not rule anything out from TNA. But yeah, certainly, at least in terms of having interesting storylines going forward in TNA, what makes the most sense in that regard would be for Bully Ray to turn heel and join Aces and Eights. But, it's typical TNA where you have a guy turn heel and join the faction, and then, Aces and Eights is just going to drag on for another 6 months. But at this point, that's what I'm expecting to happen. If there's a different finish where the two of them just have a straight match and Jeff Hardy wins, or even if Bully Ray wins a clean finish and they're both baby faces after the match, that would surprise me a little bit. All right, this one comes from Matty Dawn. Would you like to see a Vince McMahon heel turn soon? I think it could do great things for up-and-coming superstars to take on a heel chairman. Your thoughts? The problem is that it's been done to death. Vince McMahon has been a heel for so long, and the whole heel chairman thing, it's very much played out. And I think Vince McMahon is best being in a limited role at this point. I don't see there being a point in having him around constantly. It's just been done too many times in the past. I think it's best to slowly phase Vince out and start focusing, as Triple H continues to gain power, build Triple H as the new boss of WWE. And, Vince should have been gone, The whole thing with Triple H taking over and Vince being relieved of his duties, that really, in my opinion, should have been the end of Vince. But, Vince came back when the ratings started to drop, and Vince is always brought back when WrestleMania season comes and they're trying to boost the ratings. But really, they should try to downplay Vince as much as possible, I think, going forward, especially as Vince gets older and older. You just don't want to risk something happening to him at his age. All right, this one comes from AJ Woody 88. If you were in charge of booking, when would you start considering having the Shield lose? And also, when do you think the right time will be for them to break up? The Shield has a ton of momentum right now. They won at Armageddon. They won at No Way Out. I think they should win at WrestleMania. The Shield should get a big win at the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania. That would put them over the top, and they would continue to build momentum going into the spring. I think that they should continue to run rampant in WWE for the foreseeable future. I think that maybe by SummerSlam, that would be a good time to start having them split up. But let it be a long process. Let them continue to get big wins, and then eventually you can have them lose and then have them start to have issues within the group and eventually split them off in different directions. But I definitely don't think that they should be splitting up anytime soon. I think they got a ton of momentum, and things should continue to move forward at least into the summer. All right, the last one today comes from SWAT9483. Hey, great show. Love your top 25 lists of all time. After watching Raw with Punk and Cena, where would you now put their feud? Would it be in your top 25 now? Please answer in video. Actually, I did put it in my top 25. It came in at number 18. Now, would I move it ahead in the rankings just because of one match? I don't think I would. I think that for me to move it up in the rankings, they would need to restart their feud, and it was just one match that they had on Raw. It wasn't really part of a feud. The problem with doing these top 25 lists is that over time things obviously change, and you have to update your lists. And I'm sure eventually John Cena and CM Punk will feud again. I think that it's inevitable. They're the two top stars in WWE. I think eventually we'll see them facing off against each other and actually feuding. So when that time comes, certainly I could see them moving up in my rankings if I was to redo the list. But would it be moved up just because of that one match? I don't think so. I mean, maybe I'd put a number 17, whatever. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AV. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter. Keep spreading the word. I appreciate all the support from you guys. And I will see you next time for more NoDQ&A video.